What up, y'all? This is Astro Dim here doing the daily moon horoscope again. Yeah, I know. It's been a while. I've missed out on a couple of days. I needed a break. But I'm going to try to chill out and, be a little bit more consistent, okay? And I have y'all's Astro Tarot up, so y'all you can listen to that. And then around like next week, I'm gonna have your October Astro Tarot too. So I'm just getting to the swing of things, okay? But let's talk about Saturday, September 22nd, 2018. So what I'm gonna do is just swing sweetly over to 12 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, my time. And the moon is going to be in Aquarius this time, with it edging a little towards the third decan. It's actually going to be in the third decan, 25 degrees Aquarius. And so this, reading's going to be a little bit long because I'm going to talk about the moon moving into the first decan throughout the day, okay? But definitely in the beginning of the day, we're gonna have be feeling a lot of emotions, but a little detached. That's what I definitely feel about Aquarius moon. It's such an interesting moon because when you think about the moon's your karmic past, right? And so I feel like a lot of people that have Aquarius moons have probably been shunned or exiled or something, right, in a past life. And they have this like untrusting vibe to society, to their friends, to their colleagues, right? And so now they have all this emotion they feel because Aquarius, believe it or not, they like to front, but they are emotional beings. They just don't know how to go about their emotions. So they have, Aquarius moons have all these emotions and have all these feels, right? Don't know really how to express it. And so what they do is they just try to be as detached as possible. You get what I'm saying? With Aquarius being in the third decan, though, this is the Venusian decan of Aquarius. So, with this type of energy, what's really important for you is to bring some harmony and some peace and some self-love all in the same time. That's the kind of the energy here. Relating to others, getting to understand what people, where people's minds are at. And also, with a little bit of that Taurus Venus decan, it's definitely about kind of doing some self-help, self-improvement, and building self-worth as well. So it's a really interesting spot, but it's definitely this moon, even though it's in the Venus decan, it's more like a Libra Venus than a Taurus Venus, but some of the energies are mixed in regardless, okay? But, right, with the Aquarius moon, though, you're kind of having... you're kind of thinking a little bit more about how you relate to your network, to the people around you, to what they have to offer, and just building relationships, like vibing and being detached while vibing. Let it be more of a logical compatibility more than a emotional compatibility. That's in the beginning of the day. Towards the end, in the middle of the day, is going to be a little bit emotional, just to make sure you're aware. But that's what's going to happen. So, if I kind of scan through the day, right, just to see where the moon is at and when the moon's going to hit the first decan of Pisces, in my time, it's going to be actually at 9 o'clock in the morning. But for the people who are not, that's more in the east side of the U.S., for y'all, it's going to be in the middle of the day. So for us U.S. folks, it's, we're going to feel very Pisces moon more than anything. But anyways, with the Pisces moon, with this Pisces moon, right, this moon's going to be in the Neptune decan. And when it's in the Neptune decan, all that information that we've received earlier on in the day and the past few days with this Aquarius moon, we've kind of really understand people's quirks, our network's authenticity and originality and kind of compared it with our own. We, communicated and kind of really had a meeting of the minds and tried to learn from our network and the people around us and our friends. And then we try to relate with them, right? And then like when the moon or when any planet moves from one side to another, specifically Aquarius to Pisces, you're taking the energy of the last sign and moving it over to the next sign, and it's kind of showing this progression. So like you kind of understand in a logical sense how society, or at least your miniature society, your network works. You again try to understand their quirks and originality and authenticity, what makes them different. You communicated with them, have a meeting of the minds with them, understand their thought processes, and then after that try to relate to them. But now you're trying to understand them more on a spiritual level. You know what I mean? This is the Neptune decan of Pisces. So this is where imagination comes strong, intuition comes strong, and empathy, and just knowing someone by spirit. You know what I mean? And then you can't just, to know someone spiritually, you can't just be extremely logical and talk with them. You can learn someone deeply in a logical sense by talking to them, of course, and relating with them. But if you know them spiritually, it's a little bit more deeper. You have to use your imagination. You have to use your psychic abilities and intuitive abilities. So that's where your emotions are at. Like, how can I learn about someone in a more spiritual level? How can I understand people that I know on a spiritual level already that I'm just oblivious to? So this is an interesting moon. Pisces moons are always a little special, a little crazy. You might see some things, some like little entities that want to be visible, but they're invisible. You might, and it's definitely a trippy, it's like a high. This moon brings a high, especially when it's in the first decade of Pisces. So that's kind of the energies that we're seeing here. But let's look at some of these aspects. What I'm going to do is put Pisces right at 0 degrees. Put moon right at 0 degrees Pisces, and then look at the aspects of both Aquarius, when the moon's in Aquarius, and when the moon is in Pisces. Okay, so this moon is sextiling Taurus. It is, but this moon is sextiling Uranus. Okay, and with here again, like this is a part of the Aquarius moon when it was in Aquarius, right, was to understand people's authenticity, their originality, what makes them different, and trying to relate to them on their level, and having people relate to you on your level. With this moon sextiling Uranus, right? Uranus and Taurus is like being proud of your authenticity, your quirkiness, your weirdness. And the moon is supporting it both ways. The moon is supporting it with, first of all, Aquarius rules Uranus, right? So it's all about the authenticity and originality and ingeniousness. But, with Taurus here, like this is more of a relating type of feel, like trying to relate with people on their uniqueness. And then when Pisces is here, it's like, all right, let's put it a step above. How can we understand them spiritually to get why they're different and why are we connecting, So this moon is definitely all about connecting with others, connecting with others consciously and subconsciously or unconsciously, on the earthly realm and on the spiritual realm. You get what I'm saying? So, you're kind of figuring out people's quirks this way. For the people who are not spiritual, I know you're like, what the fuck is she talking about? It's seriously, just because we're unaware of it doesn't mean it's not there. The Pisces in the 12th house and Neptune represents the unknown for a reason. Okay. So, just putting that out there real quick. Okay. But another thing too is that, like, with this moon, you could be trying to understand a little bit more of your self-undoing. Because, Aquarius do represent kind of like your wishes and your dreams, not in the sleep and dream sense, but what you want to do in life, what's your biggest, wildest dreams type of dreams, And then Pisces represents, your self-sabotage ways, your self-undoing. And so you might be trying to connect to those things with, and how you feel about those things with your authenticity and your uniqueness. Like, am I doing this weird, quirky thing because I'm sabotaging myself, or because I'm trying to be quirky to hide something, you know what I mean? So this is getting deep. You're really trying to dig in layers, right? And then when you discover more about your self-undoing, and, that's kind of being spiritual. That's what spirituality is connected to, like trying to understand the universe through yourself, and trying to understand yourself through the universe. It's kind of like a continuous cycle. So be aware of that, okay? But a beautiful thing over here is that this moon is trining Venus towards not end of the day, but towards 9 o'clock my time and onward, which is lovely. Oh, so sweet. Venus not only brings in builds up your self-worth, kind of connects it with your material worth and gets you money, but it's connected with relationships too. And so with this moon connecting with Venus, you are building your self-worth, understanding yourself spiritually, right? To have a better understanding of your self-worth and make you be more proud of yourself, right? And then also what this is doing too is connecting you emotionally to your karmic relationships, to the people you're supposed to spiritually be with, right? So if you have any questions whatsoever on a twin flame, on a karmic relationship, on a life partner, whether you are aware of them or not, this is excellent time to try to be intuitive, try to meditate, try to connect with other people who are intuitives, astrologers, tarot readers, whatever, to see if they can tap something in for you. And I always say that it is good to go to other people who are skilled at connecting with spirit, but it's always best, and you'll get the clearest answer for yourself. But what's huge about this energy is that the moon is trining Venus. That means that is our emotions are going to be easily connected to the spirit world, to God. So we can really understand a little bit more about these deep emotional relationships we're in. Venus is in the Pluto decant, right, of freaking Scorpio. Pluto and Scorpio are naturally planetary partners, right? Or had a planetary and sign connection. And Scorpio and Pluto is all about intimate relationships, emotional bonding, like kind of not being able to get out of a relationship because you just feel so deeply connected to them. That transformative love that turns two people into one. It really, again, reminds us of this twin flame love. So peep this. When the moon, right, is in the Neptune decan of Pisces, all about spirituality and connectivity and stuff. Venus, right, is in the Pluto decan of Scorpio, all about those deep and intimate relationships, kind of twin flame type of love, right? These are water signs, and we're talking about the moon here. So it's connecting our emotions to the spirit world. And I always say to you guys that it's our emotions are what the angels or the God or unseen forces, that's how they try to connect with us, how they try to communicate with us. That is intuition. So if you really want to have some have a better understanding of karmic relationships, whether romantic or platonic, emotionally binding relationships, twin flame, life partner, that type of stuff, that people that you're connected with spiritually, this is a great time to do that. Either you connecting with people who are naturally intuitives and are professionally intuitives, or you doing it yourself. And honestly, the intuitives can give you a whole bunch of help, a whole bunch of information, but you are the conduit. You're the person that's going to be able to get the more detailed information that other people can't. You get what I'm saying? So be aware of that, please. This is really potent potent energy that's connected with twin flame love. And everyone kept saying, like, twin flame this, twin flame that. Like, this is really, this is, we're heading over to Libra season, right? Mercury is already in Libra now. This is cuffing season for a reason. They're prepping us, man. They're prepping us to connect and to relate and to be in that relationship, So interesting. What else is popping? Oh, lastly, this is actually good. The moon is sextiling Saturn, right? And Saturn is in the Saturn decant of Capricorn. So this is actually good. This is basically letting us realize that the emotions and the connectivity that we're feeling right now is something that's going to last for a while. We are solidifying the emotional realizations and the logical realizations that we're coming up with right now. We're solidifying it, making it real, and making it come into reality, to materialize. You get what I'm saying? But most of all, with Saturn being in a Saturn decant of Capricorn, right? That's the most Capricorn you can get. Is you're really trying to understand the status, the reputation, and the representation of your emotions. And since the moon is focused on, the collective consciousness and collective unconsciousness, we're really trying to understand our status within the spiritual world and the earthly world, and what we need to do to strengthen that and to get to our life path, get to where we need to be at right now, where God wanted us to be at this moment. Okay. So we're really studying that, and what we're doing is, again, using our thoughts, and get in our thoughts and get in our emotions, emotions that's connected to like spirituality and intuitions, and literally solidifying it, materializing it, making it tangible. So, dope energy for real. This is it was funny because I was thinking, I was like, I should probably start off with Sunday, but I had a feeling that I need to talk about today, and I'm so glad I did, because there's just so much information and I feel like I had to tell you guys. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in a reading, check out my Etsy. It's etsy.com/shop/astrodim. I'm going to be doing the second episode of my Bed and Astrology. So check out that podcast. That podcast is everywhere. Spotify, not Tidal. I always say Tidal. That means Tidal's coming for me, huh? Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Breaker, Anchor. It's on almost every podcast platform, honestly. So just look it up. It's called My Bed and Astrology by Astro Dim. And what else? My Patreon. That'd be nice if y'all support me on my Patreon and through my podcast too. There's ways that you can support people monetarily in their podcasts, depending on which platform you use. So regardless, supporting me in any way you can will be great. All right. I accept energetic support, like positive energetic support as well, and just supporting me by watching my shit. I like that too. But thank you so much, guys. Please comment, like, subscribe, share, care, and all that good stuff. All right. Much love. Peace.